Okie dokie. I think I'm on screen with my iPad now. So I'm a bit of a newbie at this, hoping my mic's coming through okay and I'm not echoing. Hey Alessandra, thanks for joining me. I started streaming a bit late. I had some technical difficulties. So I'm going to be drawing a poster. And I was thinking of choosing one of these three. I think I'll go with this one. I originally did a few sketches and I separated the 3 sketches into 3 different files so I can start working on them individually. So this is the one I'm gonna work on today. So hopefully my mic's coming through okay. It's peculiar being on this side of the screen. So yeah, I'm working in Adobe Fresco, and Fresco means drawing on my iPad, and there's no camera to capture my face, but I've put a little picture of me in the side just so you can see what I look like. But otherwise it's just my voice, I'm afraid. So I drew this sketch. It's Mental Health Awareness Month in May. Definitely United States, but I'm not sure about the UK. But there's a challenge to do this at the moment, to draw a poster. So I thought I'd have a go at using some of the colour schemes that came from Mental Health America. And it's apparently lime green as the colour, and the theme is where to start. So I've taken this colour, and in the background what I did was I created some of my own colours, colours to work with. I did these before joining live, and these have been added to my palette. So I've got some colours to work with, and I've got a design to work with, and I'm just going to make this a little poster. I had a feeling of where to start, starting with the breath. That's where I think I'd need to start. So I'm just going to take a deep breath. Hey Uma, thank you for joining. I wonder if you could tell me if my sound's coming through okay. I have no idea. I'm wearing headphones, speaking into the mic on my headphones, and just feels like I'm talking to myself, but I'm hoping my voice is coming through. And I know there's a delay. Right, so I want to choose some drawing tools. I created a library from the hundreds and hundreds of brushes that were available on Fresco for free, thanks to Kyle Webster. and I like drawing with a couple of them, my favourites. So if I just scroll down to my favourite drawing pencil is Perfect Pencil 2. I think I can just stay with that black at the moment. What's this? That looks okay. 12. Okie doke. Starting with the sketch, I'm just going to do another rough layer. Oh, thanks, Yuma. Mic audio is great. Yeah, I wasn't sure how loud the background music should be. I'm almost afraid to lift it up too much. Perhaps a little bit. If you could tell me if that's changed anything, that'd be great. So I've created a layer to go above my drawing layer. I'm actually going to add those two together and put all these other layers out of the way so that they don't confuse me. Here's my first drawing layer. I don't normally talk to myself whilst I draw, so this is extra brain usage. And I've also realised I've not actually set myself up to draw. I've just been sorting out all my tech stuff. So let's get myself a bit more comfortable. Yeah, when I was thinking about the theme of where to start, and I was thinking, well, I now always start with my breath whenever I get myself into a space of feeling quite low. I just have to remember to come back to just taking some deep breaths. And I thought, what if I draw somebody just figuring that bit out? Just, here we go. A girl sat in nature. Yeah, I'm using OBS. So you have between -40 and -35. Oh, right, okay. I'll move it up to just above. There you go. At -42. I suppose it depends on the music. I know I don't have a very booming voice myself. Just sort of wanted something a bit there in the background just to have something playing whilst I think. So I'm just going to be sketching again another layer of what I want to draw. I was thinking of having some sort of contemplation rock that you sat on, surrounded by foliage, leaning against a tree. And a rainbow in the background. I do like adding rainbows. I was looking at the plants in my garden recently and noticing that my style of drawing foliage doesn't really resemble something specific. I just sort of wing it. In actual fact, different plants have specific leaves, and I should probably pay more attention to the different plant structures. Yeah, rock of contemplation, the seat of contemplation. Where to start? I'm not quite sure what I was going to put on that. I was going to have a little sign, something, words just here maybe. Start with the breath. Start with breath. There you go. Something like that maybe. So, what was I thinking to do here? Some sort of nice gnarly tree. Winding sort of ivy lines going over it. An old tree trunk with some nice hanging branches. That's a bit of a preferred decoration. Tell you what, one thing I haven't done yet is add my grids. Normally I would draw out my grids to make sure that I've got my thirds, so I'm just going to sort that. And the way I do it is I sort of space out the grid. I sort of use my Apple pencil to move the numbers along till I get a nice even 6 grid structure. I don't always draw in a square. I normally draw in portrait, but here I've got a square, so it works both ways. And if I hold the pencil on one end and just draw to the other end and then hold it, it'll turn into a nice straight line, and I can move it to make sure I'm on the grid line, let go, and that leaves me with a nice straight line. And I'll do the same again on this side. And then again, go the other way. There we go, and that's just my over grid to get my thirds. And then I can turn off the grid in the background, and that's my grid thirds layer. I usually turn it down quite a bit so it's just obvious but not obvious. So, dum dum dum. Haven't figured out what type of face I want to be using, and really clothing wise, what is she wearing? She's wearing a tunic top of sorts. And some pants and sort of leggings maybe. I think this is just all going to be foliage as well to make it nice and green, because green's the colour, the theme. for the month. Turning off my background. What was I missing? Maybe a few extra flurry bits, if that's a word, coming off the tree. Okie doke. Turn that off. And then this one then becomes my next drawing layer. Add another layer above that. And now I need to start getting into some details. I usually start with the person. What do I need to adjust? Thirds are body. Let's use the next layer. Body's on that layer. There's the, maybe her eyes. Goes down through the body. What do I want to have here? What do I want to have there? I think that's the direction I want it to go in. So visibility wise, that is the sort of angle. So I've got my rainbow and my wiggly bits of the tree arching round. The words at the bottom you read from left to right. Come up, look at the girl, and then you look to her hands, and then up and look to her face. That is the intention. Okie doke. Let's see how far we get. How long have I been streaming for? So I've been streaming for about 20 minutes in total. Probably head up to an hour. Just do 40 minutes of drawing. Let's see if I can move this music up a bit, because I probably won't be talking so much as showing. I don't know how other streamers do it, doing things and talking and thinking all at the same time. Right. I might block in some colours. That usually helps me, helps my thinking process. If I just do a background layer from my paint palette, what do I want to use background? She's going to be under a tree. Nice soft background. Let's go with that one. We'll use Pixel. And then I want to draw another layer of plants for the background. And that will be I think the tree on its own layer, so that again just get some of these in. What colour is my tree going to be? Fancy going for a purple. foliage. This is the background foliage on this side. Start again. I don't always use the lasso to get my colour in, but I think it's probably quicker than just scribbling in at the moment. Let's give that a darker colour. Okay, and then we got some foliage in the front. Which is going to be, let's go for blue. The rock of contemplation. Uma says, take some getting used to, but if you're concentrating, it is quite hard for me still to continue to talk. Yeah, I often wonder why, when I'm watching other streamers and I put a question in the chat, why they don't see it and respond. I'm thinking, actually, they're probably trying to do something on screen at the same time. So kudos to all the streamers who have figured out how to do this. Okie doke. Rock of contemplation, that's what I was looking to do. So that's change my layers around that. So squeeze it in there. Something like that. And this rock is going to be a nice soft orange. And then the person. Start like this, do an outline of her. Let's give her go with this green. And the other thing to do in the background is my rainbow. I haven't decided whether it's going to go all the way across, but I suppose it could. Okay. Let's move this one out of the way. My drawing layer. Let's move that right down. I'll move that down again because I don't really need it anymore. Right, new drawing layer, and this one is going to be to sort out drawing a girl. Start with black, right, okie doke. I'm drawing without a reference, and it's not always the best idea, but I had an image in my head to go with, and then sometimes it's difficult to find a reference image that actually matches what you've seen in your head. So what what she's wearing is not dissimilar to what I wear most days. Some sort of maybe dungaree dress or a tunic, ruched sleeves. What age is she? I do like this part. I enjoy creating new characters and just playing around with drawing how they could possibly look. I suppose I could have got a reference picture of somebody hugging their knees. That would have been useful. Okay. When I draw people, I either have to go very realistic because they have to look like the person I'm drawing, or they're very much more abstract because it's somebody I've made up. Not quite sure if I've got an in between. Don't think she's going to be smiling. She needs glasses. They help to break up the face a bit. Let's have a look. Okay. So what have we got here? I'm still going over the structure of it. Got to get this body right. Oh, thanks, Uma. Yeah, sort of want her to be a 30-year-old. That isn't what's coming across yet. I wonder if it matters, the age at the moment. Angles are wrong. What does it look like to hug your knees again? Those that go down. Sort of. I want the hands to be sort of meeting. Thumb would probably come up the leg a bit. Yeah, I should have got a reference image for this. Might have to dig one out somewhere. I daren't play with the internet yet to look for one because I have no idea what I'll do to my settings. It's what I love about the pencils. They really do work just like I would expect a pencil to do. And obviously when you double tap this little control circle, so that the blue circle's in the middle, it turns it into an eraser, so it erases as a pencil as well. And obviously when you double tap it again, it switches it off. So that's one function of it. Oh boy. Let's see how I get on with the other fingers and then see if I can get them to come together somehow. So a thumb maybe up there, fingers curling round, and not quite the knuckles, just past the knuckles. That's more like it, there's sort of gaps in between them, isn't there? It's getting there. Forearm size. That's the other thing. Maybe they don't need to be as robust. Okay. What she got on her feet? I think that seat doesn't look quite right now. Let's go with that one again. Okay, this thigh leg part probably doesn't need to go so far back. Yep, okay. Another ruche sleeve on that side. Just lower. I wonder if I just need to make the net longer. And what I'm going to do is add my layer for her underneath the drawing, and then bit by bit as I do them I can add the drawing layer to the background colour layer. Okay, so she's starting to take shape. Let's work on some more of her details. What does her hair do? Middle parting, behind the ear. Let's try and draw that one again. So some glasses. Going behind an ear. With some loose layers. She's going to have some earrings, which I'd like to put in. Can't see her eyebrows because the fringe is quite low. Let's give her a longer nose. I think the longer nose ages her a bit more. With a bit more structure to it. Which means I think the face also needs to have a bit more length to it as well. I think I've lost it there, hang on. And this is still just a base layer as well. I've got to redo this one, maybe a few more times. I think I just heard the battery of my headphones start to die. Right, let's not make her too complicated. And chin probably needs to be extended a bit as well. So now we've got a head that looks far too big for the body. Let's have a look if I can just that, transform it, shrink it down a little bit. The magic of the transform tool. It's not something you do when you're drawing on paper. There's potentially that the body actually needs to be higher than the knees. probably why it was looking a bit awkward. Okay. Okay. So it looks like I'm getting there with my character, subject. She's got a shape. She's got some hair going down her back. Sometimes it's just easier to use the eraser for larger amounts. I'm just going to have some wisps, maybe because there's an air, there's a breeze. So some of this hair does actually come forward. That also gives us movement. And I always tend to draw my people with closed mouths. I suppose if she's leaning back against the tree, we can. Yeah, okay. Let's just add a bit of extra to this shape at the back. So there I've just added some paint into my background colour. And if you can see, there is this edging that appears from the previous look of the shape. So if I just undo that and redo the colour margin, let's see if I make it higher. That's still the same. Let's go higher again. Oh, ideally I want to get rid of those dots that are appearing, only because I'll forget about them at some point. So try colour margin higher. That's better. I suppose I could have gone all the way up. And up here as well, I need to add more to close lasso. Add colour margin at 255. Deselect. So when I undo her, I've got the background I can work with as well. And I'll do the same with all the other bits, adding them to the colour shape and then working on them individually just to see how it will all come together. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to be streaming for today. Thank you so much for joining me, and hopefully sound was okay, recording was okay. This is my first time doing this. I'm hoping that everything's worked out fine. now I'm going to try and do a transition, and hopefully next week it will be 7 p.m. on Wednesday. And I just noticed peculiarly, I don't know if you can see up here, it says Tuesday 9th of January. I have no idea why that does that. I've seen it on other iPads as well. It's really peculiar. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me. I will be back next Wednesday at 7 p.m. UTC or GMT, and hopefully I won't have any technical issues. Thank you, everybody. Uma says it was great. Don't forget to post when you stream. That's a very good point. Thank you, Uma. Thank you, Alessandra. Thank you, everybody. Hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.